One, my throat.
Do you want a glass or do you just want?
Nah, I'm gonna do straight out of the can.
Straight out of the can.
Straight out of the can.
I open it for you so you don't break it now.
Aww.
The eyeball is up, which means that the cast at Glocker is live on Glocker Realty Insurance on Facebook and YouTube. Tonight, we're also broadcasting to Jeff Frederick with Glocker Realty on his Facebook page. Tonight, we have Adrienne Zapian with us from Old Soul Stroll. You might recognize her for appearing on the podcast previously. Jeff, I think that you have an intro to the intro that you want to.
Pretty much you covered it.
Did I?
Adrienne has a lot to talk about. She has a lot of stuff going on. So right after our intro, we'll get talking to Adrienne.
Right on. So I'm going to hit the intro. This is the cast at Glocker.
All right.
And we're live.
Awesome. Okay. This is the cast at Glocker, and we are here with Adrienne Zapian. She is our guest this evening, and she has a lot of stuff going down in Boyertown, right?
A lot, Jeff.
All right. So let's get started with just tell us what's going down, I guess.
There's a lot going down. So, hi, everybody. Good to see you all. I can't really see you, but Matt will relay.
We can imagine you all watching.
Yeah, hit the like and the share button. Please help us get the word out about Boyertown. Throw a comment up in the chat. The chat is open for people to participate. Say hello. Let us know you're out there.
We love comments, and we will answer them
as best we can.
So we're kicking off the Old Soul Stroll May 6th. We have.
Can you tell people what the Old Soul Stroll is?
I should do that. So the Old Soul Stroll is a historic tour through Boyertown with a little bit of ghost tales, things that have been mentioned, stories through the years of other historians, and
because Boyertown is a little bit haunted, right?
A little bit haunted.
Yeah.
And we like that. We welcome that. But this is what Old Soul Stroll looks like.
I'll put that right up to the camera.
We do tours. This year, we're actually doing them every other Saturday evening because I didn't have much of a life last year. And also, we are adding one Monday a month for the people that work on Saturday evenings that couldn't make it. We're doing a Monday. So all the dates are listed on our Facebook page and also on the Boyertown Area Historical Society's website.
And I remember from last year that the dates sold out pretty quickly.
Yeah, we did great for the first year. We're really excited going forward. I can't wait because I've been researching all winter for new information. And
so if you took the stroll last year, you can take the stroll again and learn all new stuff.
Not all new stuff. There's definitely
some
key points that we like to keep on the tour, but there's more information, more fires that I have found.
More nuances, like more little rabbit holes you can go down.
New old tragedies.
Nice. And here's what we were talking about this before the show, and this is what I really appreciate about your particular brand of ghost tour is that you really are trying to concentrate as much as possible on the actual real history, the real story, not some made up stuff.
I think now I'm around like 700 some hours of research.
Okay.
Now that doesn't, maybe for like a college student or something, it doesn't sound like a lot, but like I'm a mom. I own several businesses. I'm a volunteer throughout the town for all different kinds of events. Like I'm always working.
Yeah.
I'm just always like 11:36 last night. I finally closed my book and was like, okay, I'm done. I'm always working. I'm always researching.
I think that 700 hours of research would result in a couple of college credits. Like that's a pretty substantial amount.
We'll
Of,
talk to somebody about that.
Get me a diploma.
Yeah.
yeah, that no,
At least an
I'm
honor
serious.
everyone.
That's a lot of
I
that's
like
a lot of work. It's weeks. That's weeks and weeks of full. If you were doing it full time basis,
Right. So I research at home. I use Ancestry. I use newspapers.com, like all these other resources. I've even
What do you feel about Ancestry? Do you like it?
I do. I actually haven't had time to do any of my personal research, personal history. I have a little family tree going, but most of it is all like I have the Boyertown family, the Boyer family tree locked down. I'm doing all kinds of Boyertown history. It's neat because the plan that I have will actually take me over to Germany and find records over in Germany as well. For the, I'm Italian. So, I mean, I have a lot of hereditaries going on, but
there's a lot of German heritage here.
Yep. And actually, like, just even researching in the newspaper, I know last time I was on, I was telling you that the newspaper was originally all in German. So obviously I couldn't read that. And then as it got converted over to English, I've gone through and kind of found some articles, like topics that I wanted, and translated them into German, and then went back and looked at it in German. It was still very difficult. But then now the Historical Society just had all of the old microfilms, which I used to sit there and fish the microfilm through.
I've done that before.
And sit there and scroll through it.
It's tedious.
It is. It's very tedious. They just now blessed the society with, well, I say me because I'm mostly the one that uses it, but they had all that converted to a digital format.
Oh, wow.
That now I can kind of
It's a searchable. Yeah.
It's still a little bit tricky because the more you use it, the more intelligent the system will get. But right now it's still new. So I can search certain topics and hopefully they come up. And if not, I do go through them week by week. They use a weekly newspaper.
Right. Wow.
So
I think that's neat. Like, that's really neat because you're giving people not just, I mean, everybody kind of wants the thrill or the titillation of hearing a scary story.
Oh, listen, that's always the fantastic.
Right. But you're actually learning something about their town. Yeah.
I feel like when people leave the tour, the most comments that I get is, I've lived here my whole life and didn't know any of that.
Right.
I'm not from here. So for me, I didn't grow up hearing stories or any of that. So
right.
For me, it's truly just research and history. And then I love when we're doing a tour and somebody chimes in and go, oh, I remember when I was a kid, my dad would talk about this and that. And so it's like, people are like, oh, that's right. I do remember that this happened.
Yeah.
So I love the interaction. And if anybody has like a great piece of history or knowledge, I always welcome them to let me know. And I try to start putting that into like the presentation.
That's a good segue into how could someone contact you if they do have information that they would like to pass on to you?
Well, Matt just is going to post that. It's Old Soul Stroll at gmail.com.
Okay.
Best way to get in touch with me for the strolls is through email, only because having the other businesses and everything, I just can't. I sit down at the end and I go through all of my different emails and I respond to people. If it's not that day, generally it's early the next day. So Old Soul Stroll.
It should be streaming. You'll see it streaming across the bottom of the screen, and Old Soul Stroll at gmail.com. I also put a link to Historical Society up inside the chat box. So after the show, or if you're technologically advanced, you can go over to the page while you're watching and listening and go check out what the Boyertown Historical Society has. I joined the Boyertown.
That's how you purchase tickets to go on the stroll. So
to go onto their website.
The Boyertown Historical Society has, if you go on in the menu tab, it'll say Old Soul Stroll. You click on that, and that's how you purchase the ticket. So we partnered with the Historical Society to do so we start off at the Historical Society, and I do a quick history there. So we're in the Unger Mansion, and we basically start off there.
So the Unger Mansion is the Historical Society.
Yes, the Unger Mansion. Yeah. Yep. Originally in 1903, 1902, it was built as the Unger Mansion.
And that's also the museum part.
It is. Unfortunately, right now the museum is closed. We will still be doing our strolls from there, but the museum is closed for renovations. So
okay.
Not to wear.
So I know when I did a stroll last year, we were able to look around the museum. Are you still able to do that?
That's a great question.
Not sure yet.
Not to be
Okay.
determined. Yeah. So
Okay.
there is still artifacts in the museum. I don't know when they're going to be pulling them
Oh,
out.
okay. I see.
Yeah.
So they're completely renovating
They
it.
haven't started yet, but
Okay.
soon.
All right.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know. 100%
I'll tell you
now.
what, for people who have never been to the museum, whenever the renovations happen and you're able to view the museum, they have amazingly cool artifacts there.
They do. So
I mean, really, really cool stuff.
the really neat thing is once everything gets done, the whole second and third floor pretty much is also filled with artifacts. So what they do is they're trying to categorize them and then store them appropriately so that when they have certain events, they're going to be able to switch the museum up.
Yeah,
so that
and themes.
Yes. So it's really neat because the Historical Society has a program every month, and the program, like, they just had a beekeeper.
Mhm.
So ultimately, every month they have like a different topic that they like to really focus on, and they're going to be able to hone in on that a little bit better once everything is organized a little bit better. So it's a huge process. I mean, there are so many artifacts in that building, and every single one has to get cataloged a specific way. And they're in the process right now of recataloging everything. So it's just very time consuming.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be a boring afternoon or evening
Not
to
at
go
all.
there at all. I mean,
No.
for any age, kids and everything, they'd be
Yeah,
like,
because they focus on the Spats Museum, they focus on the Opera House fire, they focus on, they have certain things that are always out, and
Yeah.
just the casket company. Like, Boyertown is a very amazing town that has so much history that people don't even really know, because you drive through this small town, you're like, oh, it's
Yeah,
just
it's like
another old small
one
town.
square
Right.
mile.
But
Right.
there's
Blink
so
your
many
eye.
like famous things that have come out of Boyertown, and that's one of the things I was just so intrigued last night. Some of the things that I was reading, I'm like, man, it's a cool little town. Like, there's just so much that has come from this.
Mhm.
And that's really what I plan on sharing this year, is a lot more of the history, as far as like why there are roots in other areas that really descended from here.
Mhm.
So I think that's pretty neat.
Super neat.
Yeah. So as far as the Historical Society, I mean, I'm a volunteer for them. There's a lot going on through the society right now. They just purchased the Bears Mill.
yes, yeah.
So that was a really big deal.
And we had a,
owe them a visit. We had them on,
mhm.
and then I promised that I would stop by and talk to, who's the guy's name? Was
I don't
it
remember.
Gus or something like
I
that?
don't remember. Ed, yes.
Ed's at the society every Wednesday.
Is he?
Yeah, he's going through some health things, but he's on the upswing.
It was open the other day. I was driving past it was open, but not to the public, but I could tell someone was in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I almost stopped it. I was this close, but I was on a way to.
I gotta stop in there. I
doing
want to
work
see
stuff.
how that place works and runs and everything.
It's amazing.
Yes.
Just driving past it, you can tell. Oh man, it's got to be really
It's
cool
really
inside.
cool. So the society bought it on March 29th.
Yeah, just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, just a few weeks ago. And the plans for that going forward are to preserve everything. They actually already have someone working on I forget what it's called. It has a fancy name.
What's that called? And Matt?
The cupola.
Cupola.
Yes, good job. That's the
High
first
five,
thing that's
buddy.
getting preserved, because I think that was in pretty bad shape. But it's so neat when you walk in there. It's literally just walking through time.
Mhm.
So I was just doing, this is like a little history book that they have about it, and
Yeah.
about the family that the building was there. And ultimately, they are probably going to still be raising money to restore this. I know they've done a bunch of fundraisers through the year. They're just going to work really hard to get that. That's kind of why I think the things in the museum are on hold a little bit, because they had a lot going on with this. So
Yeah.
It's hard to cover
great
all the
things to come.
bases.
Yep,
Right.
it takes time and money, and a lot of people don't have much of both
Either.
of those, so.
Yeah.
So listen, join the Historical Society, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not a lot.
Absolutely.
I think it was like $30 or something.
Yeah, it's
I
not
was
very
able
expensive.
I was able to join and pay my dues with the money that I had in my pocket.
It's
when
not
I joined.
expensive. As a matter of fact, this Saturday is coming out of hibernation.
Mhm.
So we will be there. The Historical Society will be right out front of the Peppermint Stick. We're going to be talking about the Old Soul Stroll, the Halloween Parade, and memberships to the Historical Society. We have books for sale that are really cool. Like the German cookbook. There's different things that we have for sale. We're going to have memberships there. it really is a cool place
Good.
because
I
if
can,
you're
up,
a
I can up
member,
my membership that day.
yeah, if you're a member,
Because I
if you
have
are a
to.
member, you have full access to the library. In the library has all, I mean, that's where I do all my research. Books back at the original Boyers, the Fraunheisers, I mean, there's just tons of books of the original families of Boyertown, the settlers, and really just access to any of the other books. Like Boyertown has, I think, like 18 books written about Boyertown.
Okay.
What other small town has
Yeah,
that? Not
that's
many.
pretty-
Maybe
pretty-
Gettysburg. I mean, but
Yeah,
they're,
Yeah,
right,
Gettysburg
right.
surely,
Yeah,
surely
yeah,
has
yeah.
18.
but they're a big
Probably
town.
a few thousand
Yeah,
books
I'm
about
sure.
Yeah,
Gettysburg.
they're a big town. So I
Yeah,
mean,
comparatively to
And they had
Boyertown.
something big happen there.
yeah,
you know,
I mean,
and
just
Yeah,
a little
right.
bit bigger.
Just
We
a
didn't
little
have
bit.
battles or anything, but
the Battle of Boyertown.
to be determined.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So real quick about the historical society.
Hopefully our modern politics can calm down
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit.
Oh boy. So at the historical society, they have a calendar of events. I'm going to leave a few here with you guys. We'll have some at the event on Saturday. They have metal detecting club. They just had a big hunt last weekend, all ages. They found like arrowheads. They found a really cool shoe buckle, probably like from the 70s.
Wow, a shoe buckle. I mean, that says it right there.
Listen, it looked pilgrish. So
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying, there's a lot of cool things. They found some coins. They also, like I said, they have the program. The next program is May 3rd. And actually, Rachel from the Peppermint Stick, she's the president of the Historical Society. Her husband is going to be talking. I wrote this down, Rachel. Don't get mad at me. I have a lot of information.
It's got to be about historical architecture or something, because
is.
he's the preservationist. He's the carpenter.
Yes, so he is a perfect PA craftsman carpenter, working with Berks County Agricultural. Oh wait, that's plans for the mill.
I know what he does. He restores old barns and buildings
does.
and all kinds of stuff.
I
He does historical
Preservation.
carpentry. Yeah,
Okay, so
historical
he's actually going to be
preservation.
talking about the preservation of the Pleasantville covered bridge. That
Yeah.
he just
Oh,
worked
yeah,
on.
yeah. He did that, right?
He did that.
So it's he's amazing. He doesn't.
We've had him on the show actually, and it was a really good conversation. And one of the things that really impressed me about the Pleasantville Covered Bridge, that's a place where Jeff and I spent a lot of time because we fish there.
Okay.
And I've seen those beams and everything else. He
Yeah.
hand cut those
Yeah.
beams with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a very skilled.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So his company, I think it's PA Craftsman.
Yes, it's PA Craftsman, and they
Mhm.
specialize in like barn restorations
Yep.
and things of that
Anything
nature.
Yeah.
old. He
Yeah.
does amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Also, too, they wanted me to talk about May 13th. There is a huge disc golf event coming up.
Really?
Yes.
Is this new?
No, it's been in the works. Jason from Deal Me In Games, he is co-hosting it.
Okay.
That makes
It's
sense to
going
me.
to be
But
at
the game guy would also be a disc golf guy.
I know a
there's
couple
so-
game guys that are disc golf.
Hey, they sell. I don't know anything about disc golf, but they sell some really cool discs.
Disc
in
golf
there.
is tons of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have no aim, so it's not my thing. But yes, they're partnering, and it's going to be a big deal. That is actually raising money. So your registration to the disc golf is raising money to go towards Bears Mill.
Okay. Cool.
So ultimately, it's going to be a big event. Anybody that's into,
But I mean, they've never done this before.
they've not done it before.
Okay.
They're hoping to do it annually. They're hoping that's going to be almost like, it would be great if it could be as big as the Rumble, right? We
Oh,
could have
yeah.
like the Boyertown disc golf thing.
Yeah, the
I'm sure it'll be
Pottstown
big.
Rumble is the largest grass volleyball tournament
Oh,
in
yeah.
North America.
Yeah, it's huge. So if we could do that
Yeah,
in
if you
Boyertown,
could-
that would
yeah,
be really cool.
Yeah.
Again, I don't play, but I will promote it all.
Where's the
along,
course
so.
they're using, or the
At
one
the
at the
community
Boyertown
park.
Community
Yep.
Park? Okay.
Yep.
I
Cool.
see a lot of people on that. Even through the winter, I saw dudes playing on that.
Yeah.
And chicks and
Be careful
girls.
there.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. The other
I don't
thing
know
is
if the chicks thing smooth it out perfect.
I'm sorry. Whatever.
But you said dudes, so dudes and chicks.
dudes and
Yeah.
chicks.
Hey,
yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah. But it
Whatever.
does seem to be a pretty dude dominant sport. Although I do see women playing.
There is more.
Yeah.
Because
And not
I don't
for
think
any
women
reason
have
except
as
for
well
the-
of aim.
I
I
just don't think that they care as much about it.
Yeah, we're not as sporty.
Maybe
I'm not
not.
as sporty.
Not
Because
as
it's not
you are.
like, I mean, there's talent involved, but it's not like strength or anything like that could
Well, listen, any women out there, like, challenge you, sign up, show up, and put the men to shame.
Put the dudes to
that's why I'm going
shame.
to say that.
Rep your gender.
Yes.
All right, so one of the other things is May 20th, Boyertown is hosting a Heritage Day. So this is actually going to be a really cool event. I don't know if you guys even heard about this.
I know. Yeah, I've spoke with somebody.
I have a lot of things for you now to put on your Jeff Knows board.
I can't wait.
So ultimately what that is, it is a Building a Better Boyertown event. It is a free event. It welcomes families of all ages. It is going to be a little tricky, so don't expect your kids to do this on their own. Ultimately, it's going to be from 10 to 4. Boyertown Area Historical Society, the Museum of Historic Vehicles, the Spatz Museum, the Railroad, the State Theater, St. John's, and Good Shepherd. So ultimately, did I say the State Theater? Yes. Ultimately, what we're doing is it's going to start at the Car Museum. So everybody park at the Car Museum and go to the Explorers tent. Yep. You're going to go to the Explorers tent. And from there, you're going to find out instructions. It's kind of like a historical mystery hunt. We're not saying the word scavenger hunt because it's a lot more than that. So I want to say, like, not murder mystery, finding clues
to an
and
answer.
I will be dressed up as one of the actresses.
Oh, there's good. We didn't know there's going to be.
Yes, it's going to be a really fun.
And actors
I had
involved.
to take a day off of work for this, guys, so it's pretty important. It is going to be a lot of fun. It's ultimately, it will be challenging. So I do encourage work as families together in groups, whatever. But all of those museums and places I just mentioned are going to be open free to the public that day. So if you've never gotten to the Spatz Museum and it's something that you've been wanting to do,
that place is pretty amazing.
It's so cool in there. Yeah. So
and
ultimately,
they're doing more stuff to that.
Are
museum.
they really?
Yeah.
They
keep
keep adding to it.
And listen, we interviewed them, and I just want to. This is a good segue. If you want to see our past episodes, the best place to do that is to go over to our YouTube channel, which is Glocker Realty and Insurance on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free. Hit the bell button. That's going to give you notifications when we're live or when we post new videos to Glocker Realty and Insurance. But that is the best place to go and watch these past
they're
videos.
Listed right, real easy for you to
just
go through and see who you want to watch.
Yeah, I think literally every single person or organization that she's talked about so far, we have interviewed.
So far, yeah.
So if you want to go back and see those interviews, shoot over to the YouTube channel. We do have a bunch of people that are watching today and are being active up on the chat. Jeremy Hetrick, Chris Golden, Gypsy Chris, and hold on, I want to get back over to the chat so I can give some people their propers. Gypsy Chris, Luann Zambiani, she is watching. I'm sorry.
Hi, Luann.
Jeremy Hetrick, and anybody who's watching, especially those folks that have been active in the chat. Do this for me, please. Hit the share button and please share this episode of the Cast at Glocker into your news feed. That way, more people will find out what is going down in Boyertown.
Absolutely.
Those are my public service
sorry, Jeremy
announcements.
couldn't be here tonight. He was working, so he's watching right now. So
hey, you got to work sometimes.
Listen, the more people share the show while we're live, I can literally watch the numbers of people watching jump up. So if you know how to share a cat video, you can share the Cast at Glocker. Just hit that share button and it's going to shoot it right over to your news feed. And then the people that follow you will follow us.
Especially if you know Adrian.
Absolutely.
Yeah, where's my fans at?
Hook a sister up.
That's right.
Absolutely.
All right. So sorry, I needed to make those public service announcements.
That's okay. I'm happy about that. So a couple more things. I know we kind of keep dipping into the Bears Mill. Just so you know, they have in the works. They're working on doing late summer concerts there.
Really?
Yep. So I think it's going to be kind of like bring your own picnic chair and your own little picnic basket.
I always like that.
And do some concerts, which I think, it's always a fun time. Also, too, they're working with the Berks County Agricultural Department, the USDA. Now, I had to write this in my language. Zerkie's Society to create pollinator habitats and natural wildflower preserves at the mill. So what they're going to do is they're going to go in and clear land and then kind of like start fresh. So they already have people.
Yeah,
going
revert
in
it back to wildflower meadows. You know, one of the things that does is it saves organizations.
Yes.
It saves the bees, but it also saves organizations maintenance, because for every acre or every plot of grass that you revert back to a meadow, you don't have to mow it.
Yeah.
And it makes everything look beautiful. It's good for the environment, and it saves the bees.
Absolutely. That's the goal, because there's so many farms that are still, farmettes in this area. We don't have nearly what we used to have, but it's important because I think a few years ago, like honeybees were like on the verge of extinction.
Still are.
Yeah. So
for a lot of
kill
different
those bees.
reasons.
I hate bees. I'm so allergic to them. I don't like them at all. I freak out and panic. But
a honeybee doesn't want to sting you.
Yeah, well, I've been stung, so I just don't kill them. Now that I know the crucialness of them, I don't kill them. So
that's very good.
Also, too, I mean, there's tons of programs that the society's doing. There's Wizarding Weekend in July, and there's stuff to come. There's going to be a yard sale in September. I don't know any details about that. I guess maybe you can bring all your junk and get rid of it, sell it. Another man's trash is another
one man's
treasure.
junk is another man's treasure. Yeah.
Tractors in the Park, which is a huge success. Kids
When's that
love
coming up?
September 9th.
Okay.
So that's always a busy thing.
I'll tell you what I'm getting ready to go to towards the end of the month here in April. My son Patrick is a welder, and we're going to go over to the Boyertown Historic Museum.
To see the blacksmith.
And see the blacksmith demonstration.
That's
I'm super psyched for that. And so, like I said, he's into that kind of stuff and knows a little bit about it. And we're going to go over there and watch him do a blacksmith demonstration.
Yeah,
I'm excited about that.
They do. I have done that like twice so far. That's the other thing I want to say. Like, go on Visit Boyertown PA Facebook page, because I share all of the stuff that's coming around town.
So Visit Boyertown PA is a Facebook page that you are the administrator for?
Yep. So I try to pull what's going on for the weekend, who's having specials, Semper Pi, if they got a good cheesecake. They always have good.
I say the same thing.
They always have good. I mean, everybody, there's so much goodness in the town. I just try to like put it all in there. When the BBB, the BMBA, any of them are having events, we just try to get it all in one place so that, everybody gets to know about it. Like this weekend, I was talking about it's coming out of hibernation, which forget, they block off, I think, from Washington on up.
To Reading
it's not as big as
Avenue.
the street fair.
It's Washington and Reading.
Yeah, and it's going to be a great time. Weather's going to be amazing. I know a couple coming out of hibernations. We were out there
freezing,
wanting to go back into hibernation.
Yeah.
This one we're going to
This one's going to be nice.
For.
Yeah.
So a lot of great family event.
Are you going?
Again.
I'll be there.
I will be
I'm
there.
going to be there too.
We'll stop by and say hi. So I want to talk about why another reason I'm here is for the Halloween parade.
Yes.
So
this is breaking news, kind of, right?
Breaking news. Well, I mean, it's been out for a little while, but so the Levant family and Brandon Yoder have been running the Boyertown parade originally through the JCs, and then the JCs all aged out, and they were kind of like, well, we don't.
Did
want
they
this
disband or? Okay,
I really don't know. They had ran the parade for 17 or 18 years on their own as a family, and with their own little army of volunteers. Unfortunately, because they didn't have like a huge Facebook presence, they didn't have a lot of volunteers. They really did a huge job for such a small little army. We heard rumors last year that was going to be the last of the parade, and we're like, what? That can't happen. Like, this parade brings in like over 15,000
and it's been going on for like 100 years or something like that.
Longer. So 1912 is when the first Halloween parade was recorded. It's been around for a while, and we don't want it to end. So I guess
honestly, Matt, I mean, it's probably the biggest thing that Boyertown is known for.
Oh yeah, I mean, the biggest positive thing that Boyertown is known for. Yeah, I would say that and the fire. Obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody knows about the Boyertown
Halloween parade.
Yeah.
So last year I was like, no, this can't happen, and then I kept hearing the rumors again, and I guess nobody really wanted to do it. Like the Rotary, nobody really didn't have the amount of volunteers. So Rachel and Luann and I had talked, and they were like, Adrian, we really don't want this parade to end. Like, will you do it? I'm like, heck yeah, absolutely.
You jumped on it.
Absolutely.
All
like,
right.
Why not? Why not just add one more thing to the pile?
That's
Yeah,
right?
but it
spirit
also
it
goes
needs,
along
right?
with your Old Soul Stroll thing too.
It
like,
does.
yeah,
This is a lot.
This is big.
This is
yeah.
a lot.
yeah, I can imagine.
So, I mean, how the other group did it with like 5 people and some volunteers that day, I don't know how, because
Right.
I am in the process of setting up like a huge subcommittee. So we have an amazing, strong team of people. We meet next week, so we haven't even officially met yet. But everybody is like gung ho committed for this.
That's what you got to be for such a
And then
thing.
we have a volunteer list, volunteer forms that are on the Facebook page. They will be on the Historical Society's page after next week. We're working on getting the website completely done. It's a huge undertaking because we want to make it amazing.
Yeah.
The parade actually cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because they were such a small little group last year, they didn't really have the means and the social media to really raise money. And unfortunately, they were putting like thousands of dollars out of their own pocket to make sure that parade happened.
Wow.
And with all due respect, they did an amazing job for what they had. Our goal is to raise money from now going forward so that we can make sure everything is in place, and then obviously raise money going forward as well.
I think that's important. Like if the people of Boyertown want to continue the tradition, then I think it's good for you guys to kind of throw a gauntlet down and challenge them. If you want this to stick around,
absolutely,
then you guys got to buck up, right?
So like, even if it's $2, like I will be at the coming out of hibernation on Saturday with a bucket. Now listen, folks, we're gonna be strict about this because we heard of some fraud in the past years. We wanted to make sure that you are only donating to these beautiful orange buckets that have been around for a long time.
With the historical logo on them.
We just had these made from Everything Printing down in Gilbertsville. These are the only buckets that you are to put any cash in.
For the parade.
Yes. Anything, if you see somebody walking up and down the streets on the night of the parade and they do not have this bucket,
call the police.
There you go.
Scammer.
Call me.
Yeah.
You call me. This was very important to us because we did hear about fraud in the past. And we were like, that's absolutely horrible.
It's ridiculous.
No, hold on. Let's not get it twisted. It's illegal. You can get arrested and go to jail.
Yeah, and we will make sure that happens.
Yeah.
Not because of being petty, like, oh,
no,
$5
because you're stealing from the community.
Yeah.
It's the principle. We also want to make sure that everybody knows that every single penny that is being raised
it's going to the right place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, well, how could a parade cost money?
Oh.
Well, let's get into that. So there's barricades that, the borough doesn't just give us. They actually have to get paid for. You have to pay for fencing above 2nd Street where the train bridge is because, if the borough thought it was unsafe for people to walk over it, they should fence it like they did.
Yeah, right. Just out here on 100.
Here.
Yeah.
But they haven't. So that is, something we're going to kind of work on. But they do have to pay for fencing for that. You have to have porta potties. You have to have, there's
insurance.
Lots of things. Insurance.
You have to have traffic control. You got to have EMS.
There's a lot. So I'm working on it.
I get it. Yeah.
So one of the things that I can't stress enough is like, I wanted to have t-shirts made for the parade that we had a QR code for donations. And I'm like, okay, well, once the money starts rolling in, we could do this. So even just having a Facebook present, or not Facebook, on the website. So if you go to the Historical Society, today was just the day that we launched our online donation. So
awesome.
Go to where it says Halloween Parade, donate to the Halloween Parade, and there's a drop-down bar that you can donate right in there.
And is that on the Facebook page or on the website?
That is on the website.
Okay.
The Historical Society's website just got a new menu tab.
Gotcha.
Can you do like PayPal and stuff like that?
Yep. So we have a PayPal and a credit card link. After next week, we'll have the registration. So we are looking for food trucks because we are hoping to not have to barricade every street. We want to put beautiful food trucks
There you
instead
go.
of barricades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are asking for anybody that knows a food truck vendor that October 21st, they are available. We are more than happy to have you come out. We're looking
And wow,
for,
if you own a food truck,
you will make a mint.
you
So
will make a mint for
I
sure.
will be honest, we have been up in the air about how we're going to charge, because a lot of times if you charge a percentage, people aren't like always honest. And we didn't want this to be a moneymaker for us. We want it to sustain, you know, your registration to be sustainable for them and for us. So we're asking a $200 flat fee. So if you're a French fry guy, if you're a taco truck, if you're a funnel cake, whatever, and you want to make a good chunk of change.
Yeah, $200 is nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, other places are $500 easy, and there's no percentage, just a flat fee.
Yeah.
So we are looking for food vendors. We are looking for, we have some things that we're working on. We are trying to keep things as close to what they used to be with the previous group before we want to kind of get the handle of things.
Mhm.
Like I said, we have an amazing team of subcommittee members that we have a volunteer form as well. If anybody wants to volunteer, email me at btownhalloweenparade@gmail.com, and I can send you the volunteer list. And then you let us know how much time you have, because we need volunteers like even before the parade to help with registration forms, just organizing a few things. And then we obviously need a lot of manpower the evening of. So that's really,
that's probably the hardest thing to get. I would.
It
think.
is. So talking to the previous people, I mean, the Friday night before the parade, Saturday, even into Sunday, like they've really poured their hearts into it and did a phenomenal job. We really would like to not burn people out. So, you know, the more people we have, the smaller jobs and tasks people can have, and
Right.
we all just, you know, get it done.
Yeah.
If everybody wants this parade to be a thing, then help us out. That's all I can say.
And it's Boyertown Halloween, B-Town Halloween Parade at gmail.com.
Gmail.com, yeah. And also, too, we really want the community to be more present in the parade. So there's always been what they called walkers in the parade. So if you're a family and you want your kids, like, I want to be in the parade, that opportunity, it's I think $5 a person.
Okay, yeah, because I don't think they had that for at least the last few years.
Yeah,
right?
the last few years.
Yeah.
So if your child is not in an organization that partakes in the parade, you can still be in it. You can, you know, get your strollers out there, decorate them. We're going to have some different categories. Things are simplified a little bit more. I know in the past there were just so many categories. We've simplified that. And honestly, the more people that register, the higher the prize amounts are going to be. So we're hoping to use all the registration funds, because everybody's like, well, what are you going to do with all the registration money? Well, that's simple. We're going to add that as the prizes. So cash prizes. We are doing away with the trophies and all that. We're just doing cash prizes.
Which hopefully the cash prize you will then turn around and spend in a local Boyertown business.
So we did talk about that.
Right.
We did talk about that, because I honestly wanted to do first place cash prize and then the other prizes being gift certificates to the local restaurants.
Yeah.
However, it was brought to my attention that if you're like a Girl Scout organization or a Boy Scout troop, you can't split that up.
Right.
All of them.
Right.
So I think maybe that has some fine tuning to do.
Yeah.
But we decided, like, last year their budgets were like $1,000 between trophies and things like that. I'm like, what are you going to do with the trophy? Like,
yeah,
nobody really wants trophies anymore.
Yeah.
And if you do give people some money, like I said, they can spend it back in the
Hopefully, yeah.
community
We
and
hope
do
that
a
people
little
turn around
economic
and-
stimulus.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And again, if it's a group, sometimes like nonprofit groups, they will, you know, turn around and donate it back to the society.
Mhm.
You know, we wouldn't turn that away either. But we just really want everybody to come out, have a good time, have a safe time. That's one of the things, like talking through the insurance company is like, you know, people, they did away with the throwing of candy. And it's like, well, that's what you do. Well, we are going to roll the candy like a little bowling ball.
Yeah.
Apparently kids have gotten hurt. I guess a lollipop to the head. I don't know.
But I mean, if you're a kid in school, and it's the greatest story to tell, you go back to school and you're like, oh, why are you missing an eye? Well, because I got candy thrown at me. Well, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah,
if you're
right.
going to miss an eye, you know.
How many licks does it take?
Listen,
to pick on an
I was
eye?
at that parade for so many years, and my kid has left with a bag of candy that I really didn't I mean, there's just so
Yeah.
much, you know.
Yeah.
So we just want everybody to have a great time, be safe. You know, it's really just such a lively event. So October 21st,
Mm-hmm.
everybody mark that down. Rain date is Sunday at 2 p.m. Unfortunately, that is the traditional way that they have done the parade.
Yeah.
Daytime, but it's a rain date. So.
You know, we had to do that. I've gone to almost all the parades, right? And we did. I remember there were a few years back, maybe 5 years back or something like that. They did a 2 p.m.
A rain date one.
Yeah, rain date
It's
one.
just as fun. I mean,
And it was fun. It was fun.
Pottstown's permanently moving their Halloween parade to a daytime hours on a weekend because
I think they had it last year on a daytime
they did,
hours, right?
and that's how they're going to do it from here on out because the nighttime hours were causing too much disruption in the neighborhoods. Kids were getting out of hand. Like there was fights. They almost had a riot the one year. But what they found is by doing it during the day, it kind of cuts down on some of the nonsense.
Yeah.
You still have a nice time. You can still have a good parade, but there's something about doing it at dark that creates some havoc.
Well, Boyertown better act accordingly because we like ours at nighttime.
Yeah, absolutely.
One other thing I
so
want to tell you.
behave if you want it to be if you want it to stay at night. Just behave.
Just behave.
Yeah.
So one of the fun facts that I have for you guys is the Boyertown parade at one point in 1935 the name was changed to Der Gnome Carnival.
Okay.
So it was the Gnome Festival, basically.
Oh, okay.
So this year we might make it a little interesting, and I have a social media game for people to play. I want to hide like a couple gnomes around the town, and if you take selfies with the gnomes, you'll be entered to win a separate contest. So,
I like that. That's a great
society
idea.
hasn't approved that yet, but I think I'm just gonna, we're just gonna go with it.
I think they would be.
So
fine
yeah,
with
it was
that.
called the Gnome Carnival, and it was actually a really big deal. It was right before. I think there was only like 4 years. I don't know. Luann did the research on this one. I haven't gotten it yet. She probably emailed it to me. I've just been crazy all day. That during World War II that there wasn't a parade. So there was only very short spats that there was no parade. I think
they were
during
probably
the
doing it to
Depression-
save resources. Remember there was all that rationing and stuff during the World War II and also World War One. And so they were cutting back on some of that thing because they were trying to send all those resources overseas to win the war.
1943, something around there.
So I wonder
That
what they
makes
did at
sense.
the Gnome Carnival.
It was a parade.
Oh,
They just changed the name of it for a little bit. I don't know if it was something German. I don't know. We haven't found. I've tried doing research on this. I've gone back in the microfilms. I really haven't found a lot of information. So it's something that I am.
And what year was that?
1935.
Yeah, and then
1935. They had a big idea.
Yeah,
We're gonna do
And there's
it. Everybody has
actually-
a Halloween parade. Let's do a
Actually,
Gnome
Rachel,
Festival.
she found a cool little, I won't say too much, but a cool little thing that is on eBay, and she is trying to put bids in on it. So I think one of the neat things is there is proof of this. It wasn't just like, it was actually a big deal. Just nobody knows about it. So if anybody remembers, I mean, from 1935 or has stories of their grandparents from 1935 of the Gnome Carnival, please reach out to me and let me know.
I'll ask my neighbor. He's 96 years old.
There you go.
he might
Ask him.
remember.
He might remember. He's been from the
Yeah.
area though his whole life. So
So yeah, the parade's going to be a great time. Volunteers, please message me. We have volunteers of all different. If you say, hey, I
all
can give
different
you-
shapes,
I
colors,
have some
sizes.
people. Yeah, I mean, I have some people that are like, listen, the night of the parade, I have company, but I can help you a couple days before. Like, there's something for anybody.
Yeah.
There's, we're gonna be
did-
like the mummers, man. Like the next day, I'm starting on next year's parade.
There you
All
go.
right.
So we're
Yeah.
gonna. I really, really, really am. I love parades. I've gone to parades my whole life. I go to the Thanksgiving parade in Philly. I go to the Mummers parade.
Adrian, you're the perfect person for this.
I am.
Yeah.
I love parades.
Yeah.
So if you have somebody that would be a great parade person, like, hey, I have a guy that can pull a donkey up Philadelphia Avenue, or
I didn't know where that
pull
was
a
going.
wagon with a donkey up Philadelphia Avenue. Hey, we want them. We want anything.
I thought it was a joke.
I
I
thought
thought there was a
too. I
joke
was
coming
like-
down the pike. Does
No,
this happen in Tijuana?
Sorry to disappoint you. But if you know somebody that would be a great addition to the parade,
Yeah.
have them register.
I put up a on the screen, streaming at the bottom of the screen, is the corrected email address for people who want to volunteer or become involved with the Halloween
Did you put it
parade.
in wrong?
I spelled
screwed me
Halloween
up.
wrong.
How do you spell Halloween wrong?
With two O's.
Halloween.
It's not, I'll be honest, it's not, that whole thing is not really my thing particularly, so you'll have to excuse me. But Mr. Hetrick caught it and corrected me in the chat.
Good job, Jeremy. Thanks. Yeah. Always looking out. He's always looking out.
He's like, that guy doesn't know how to spell Halloween.
I don't.
Go ahead.
Oh, no.
Before we move on, because we do have to
we're
move
at about
on.
6:48.
Yeah. So we do have to
I
move.
think that Adrian could keep going if she wanted to.
easily.
There's so much stuff happening.
And we didn't get to all of her bullet points here. So I'm going to ask you right now, is there anything else you want to talk about real quick before we move to the next segment?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
If I missed anything.
Oh, it was Luann who caught the spelling. Sorry. See, I screwed that up too.
Matt,
you got a lot going on. That's hard to do. I will tell you, I couldn't do that.
He's got his arms folded. How much could he be doing right now?
Listen, there's a lot of reading. There's a lot going on over there.
There is. I don't know how I do it.
We have another
beer. I could use another beer.
Sure.
That might help me stay loose.
Another paper.
Okay, so
is there really?
We're busy.
Yeah, I got to get this paper done in.
We can do it.
12 minutes.
Well, here's what you can do though. Also, shoot us over the information on the paper, and then we can talk to Jen about putting that stuff up along the way on Glocker Realty and Insurance Facebook page.
I can do that.
Any kind of community marketing that you want to do, let us know. We also have the electronic bulletin board outside. Awesome. If you want to send something, just contact Jill at Glocker.com.
And you know what? We're not just talking to you, Adrian. We're talking to anybody watching. And this is a community bulletin board here.
It is.
Awesome.
For everyby's use.
So one of the things is like, I have a hair salon in the community, and I really try not to like.
What's the name of your hair salon?
Revamped salon.
Okay.
You on Facebook?
I am.
I'm going to throw you up.
Thanks.
All right.
Well, it's funny because I'm always so involved in like the community stuff that not that I forget I have a salon. I mean, it's been 18, 19 years that I've had the salon. And I love all my clients very much, but it's like, I love doing the community stuff so much that some of my clients are like, are you going to still do hair? And I'm like, well, yeah, obviously, like that's my income.
That's how you make money. Right?
That's how I make money. And we do make money with Old Soul Stroll. So going forward, like we sell really cool t-shirts.
Awesome.
We have some new color variations that I'm very excited about this year. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, I still do hair, but I never try to like promote myself.
Yeah.
In the process. So when somebody's like, well, what about this? I'm like, oh, I forgot. Yeah. I do have that. So anyway.
So revamped salon.
But don't you think too
in Boyertown?
Yes, revamped. And I did put a link to their Facebook page up in the comments. So if you want to schedule an appointment, shoot over to their Facebook page and get their contact information.
I don't need that.
Well, I do have a really awesome boulder.
I'm running out of hair too.
Are you running out of hair?
Yeah, I'm running out.
They only give you so much.
I know. For a certain period of time.
Right.
I think too, do you find this is the question I want to ask you. Do you find though, like I certainly find that my community engagement and community involvement does lead to business. Like once people know that you're involved in a community and you care, my phone rings occasionally because somebody's like, hey, Matt, I want to work with you because I know you care about the community.
So I want to say yes, but I have to say no because I really try to stay behind the scenes a lot.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Like I was almost embarrassed to like put my name on the Historical Society's page as just it being me. Like I do always try to stay behind the scenes with things.
Right.
But sometimes you just can't help it. And like me going to be at the coming out of hibernation, like visit Boyertown, PA, nobody knows that it's me. So I'm like, Old Soul Stroll. It's not like I have pictures of me, you know what I mean? So like, I'm always like, no, I don't. But everybody always calls me and be like, hey, do you know somebody that does this? I'm like, yep. Like I'm a very good connector.
And we are, we're going to have you back on in September, October at some point. Because we want to hear, because this is your
more
first
about
year.
The stroll.
Well, we want to hear more about the Halloween parade, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Because this is your first year. We want to know about your experience. And I'm going to probably do an interview with you
So
and all sorts of stuff.
gray hair, that's because I keep taking on more and more projects, but maybe I'll look like you next time. I'll stress myself.
Oh, underneath this baldness is gray hair too.
I'm excited about
Matt's gonna do it. He's going to take it off.
Oh, look at that.
All
Our
gray.
Silvery.
Yeah.
And curly hair.
Oh, I'm due for a cut. This is bad.
Well, I know a chick if you need one.
All right. I'll have to stop by.
So let's move on to the next segment.
8 minutes.
No, we'll go over because there's still people
always
watching.
run out of time.
We're good.
We have a good time on this show. It's fun.
All right. So as you mentioned earlier, I have a website called jeffknowsboyertown.com, but I have a blog that's called What's Going Down in Boyertown, which is a weekly blog. Subscribe. It can be sent directly to your email each week. That's the best way to do it.
I love it. It's great. It's absolutely, you've done a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
He gave some amazing Easter hints, like how to make hard-boiled eggs that weren't going to be a terrible thing to peel, and they were fantastic.
Did it work?
I did it. It was great.
We did it too.
I actually
usually I try these things before, but I was rushed.
Nope, it worked.
So we tried afterwards.
What did you do with a little
baking
bit of
soda in the water?
Oh, okay. Another thing that helps eggs peel is a little bit of white vinegar in the boil water.
Yeah. Yes.
But I love
seafood
the
too.
information because I'm always like, I have some free time. What do I do? And I go on Jeff's What's Going Down in Boyertown, and I'm like, oh, cool, let's do this.
Is that what we're transitioning to? Did Jeff go? What's Going Down in Boyertown?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna put that
Stay
up.
with it.
You couldn't. Yeah, come on.
I got like 5 things happening.
Yeah.
And I was chatting with Jeremy on the side.
That's what I knew you were up to something over there, Matt. So, hey, there's so much stuff going on every week in Boyertown.
Always. There's never a dull moment.
People do come to me and actually say, I can't believe how much stuff is going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's no joke. I'm not like trying to promote anything.
You're not.
It's just merely people.
We heard it tonight with all the stuff that she had to talk about. And that's just like one organization.
That's Adrian.
Yeah.
That's just me. I'm just the crazy one that can't say no.
But here's a couple things that I picked out of the long list of things that are happening in and around Boyertown this week, starting with something that's happening in Pottstown. Matt, I know you have your heart in Pottstown, right? Well, there's a connection. There's a Pottstown Boyertown connection, which there always is.
Always is.
Always is. At Soul Joel's Comedy Club.
Yes.
Love Joel.
Joel Richardson.
He's done amazing.
He's awesome.
We interviewed him, by the way.
We did. Yeah. And we need to do it again now that he's in Pottstown.
I did reach out to him. He's a little bit busy, but he wants to come on this show, and he also wants to go on Porchcast Pottstown.
Cool.
Yeah. So we'll get him.
So there's a fundraiser show this Thursday at 7:00 for the Boyertown girls softball team. So you go there, and Jim Florentine is the comedian. All right.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great show.
Yeah.
And you're benefiting the Boyertown girls softball team.
Joel has always done amazing events for fundraisers, and honestly, you're not getting like, oh, this is the cheap comedian. Like it's always every time I've gone,
it's Jim Florentine.
He's had Jim Florentine is huge around here. He's been on the radio and Howard Stern show,
everything,
MMR and everything. And then he's had Jim Brewer. He's had Andrew Dice Clay, Big J Okerson.
He's had tons of huge people.
Caroline Ray. I mean, international acts.
Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's a great place to go. And he's got so much more going on than just comedy there.
There's so much going on there. So he has like the legs and eggs. He's got all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah.
He's doing amazing. Great
He's doing drag shows.
Drag brunch. Well, drag for the ladies.
Legs and eggs.
For the chicks.
Eggs and legs or whatever.
Yeah.
For the chicks this week.
Oh, yeah.
There's an all-male review.
An all-male review. I did see that.
I mean,
Well, he's being very creative. And there's even like now salsa dancing and country line dancing. He also just April 2nd did history thing of the Sunnybrook. Unfortunately, I couldn't go. I would have loved to have been there.
Yeah,
Sorry, Joel.
yeah.
Packed with history. That
Yes,
place.
absolutely. My grandparents used to go to Sunnybrook every Friday night when they were kids that are passed away now, but to dance.
My grandfather
they used to dance there all the time.
My grandfather would drive up from Westchester, and here's why.
He
Because
lives in West Conshohocken.
yeah, my
We're not from here.
grandfather on my dad's side. So my dad's side of the family is black. And my grandfather would drive up with his buddies from Westchester because Sunnybrook was an integrated ballroom.
Okay.
It was one of the
That's
few
cool.
places that they could go and get in. And the other thing that he told me was when Glenn Miller Band played, because Glenn
And they
Miller
played there a lot.
he was in the Air Force.
That's neat.
And the Air Force was desegregated at that time. And it was part of Glenn Miller's contract that his shows had to be desegregated.
That's cool.
So my grandfather and his friends would drive up here to Pottstown from
'Cause it was, like,
Westchester
somewhere to go
because it was a
hang out.
place they could get
That's
in.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. So I was privy to, I don't even know if that's the right word. I just wanted to use a cool word. To going backstage of the Sunnybrook Ballroom.
Yeah.
And there's, so the walls back there have been signed by
All
I mean,
the
famous,
Dude,
famous
Count
people.
Basie, Glenn Miller, like the
Old
the
Blue
big-
Eyes.
Yes,
Everybody's
Sinatra,
back, yeah.
the big names of big
That's-
band.
But here's the
movies.
unfortunate part about it. The hugest names back there have been cut out. So
No,
when-
they found them.
they found them?
They found them.
That's awesome.
Yes, they were cleaning up some stuff, and Joel Richardson's mom actually found the missing pieces. They
and
were
what are they
there.
doing? What are they doing then? with it?
They're going to try to
They're
figure out a
preserving
way to
them. That's
restore them.
awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, that was I just saw that not too long ago. I think if you go onto their Facebook page or their website, there was a news article about
Oh, cool,
that I saw.
cool.
Now I don't know if they found all of them, but they certainly.
I saw the cutout
She
version,
found-
but there was still like tons
That's
of, I mean,
fantastic.
dating back to the early 1900s, you know, because they're all dated and everything. It's just
Yeah.
like, it's just like, wow, it's just like, you know, it takes you back to a time that I didn't live in. you
yeah,
know?
right.
Yeah, it was really cool. So anyway, you can help out the Boyertown girls softball team and have a great comedy show at the same time this Thursday at 7:00 at Soul Joel's at Sunnybrook. Friday, there's Barn Fresh Vintage Market in Gilbertsville does a really cool thing that I absolutely love. And it's starting this Friday at 10 a.m. They do it, bring a plant, take a plant. So, you know, when you, like, if you grow your own plants, I don't know if people,
Like
from
if too many
seed.
succulents or too many aloe plants.
Anything. It could be
and-
flowers, it could be
sprouts.
tomatoes, it could be anything.
Mhm.
So you have too many, you don't know what to do with them, bring them there, and then you can grab something
That's
that you
awesome.
want that somebody else dropped off. So it's this exchange program, and I think it goes on like all spring. And it's starting this, she's starting it this Friday at 10 a.m. So that's a really cool thing. Saturday, coming out of hibernation, we talked about that. It's from 10
Absolutely.
a.m. to 2 p.m. The entertainment will be the alumni band, Steel Hemlock, Funky Frets Uke group, which is ukulele group,
Mhm.
Cuckoo the cartoon magician. You ever see Cuckoo?
Yeah.
Cuckoo's great. You ever see Cuckoo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he used to do stuff at Applebee's in Pottstown,
I think he still does.
and he lived in Pottstown for a while.
Yeah, he's living in Douglasville now.
Yeah, he had the
Because I can
Acme
see his
car parked.
Yeah,
It was always
yeah,
parked
yeah,
near the
yeah.
car wash. He got
Yeah.
a new one.
Yeah,
Upgrade.
yeah, he did upgrade. It looks
Mhm.
exactly the same.
It's
It looks exactly the same. He used to live on Wilson Street at the corner of Wilson and Spruce in
right where
Pottstown.
the car wash.
Yes,
But you think
yeah,
you think he's, you know, just by Cuckoo, the name, you think he's a goofy kids magician. He does some pretty
Yeah.
stuff that I
He
can't
does.
figure it
He
out,
does.
but-
You know, he's a super nice guy too. One time I live in Pottstown.
Mhm.
I was over at the car wash. It's the Spruce Up car wash.
Mhm.
It's on the corner of Spruce and Wilson. And I was over there washing my truck, and my kids were with me. This is when they were younger. They were like in middle school age, like late elementary, early middle school. And they were with me and they were helping out. But, you know, they start getting bored and they're wandering around. Well, he came out and he was like, "Do you mind if I show your kids some of the new tricks that I'm working on?" He's like, "I need an audience. This is new stuff that I'm trying to figure out. And I want to see if I can work some of my new material." So I was like, "Yeah, that's fine with me." So he took my kids into his backyard and showed them like 3 or 4 new tricks for him that he was working on. Nicest guy.
Yeah, and he realized that he should ask the parent first and all that.
He did a great job. He's like, do you mind if I take your, because it's kind of weird. That could be weird. But he's like, do you mind if I, do you mind if I,
whenever you see the Acme purple car, that it's
super
car
nice
is
guy.
awesome.
Yeah.
So it is. But my kids still go gaga over him, and they're 10 and 12. But yeah, so Cuckoo's going to be there. Ruffles the clown. I'm not sure who that is, but I'm assuming it's the clown, I guess. There's going to be a moon bounce there. This petting zoo will be there as well. So there's lots of entertainment going on there. There'll be food trucks. Our friends, Stirrups Mobile Carco, Mobile Bar Company, which we had on before.
Yes.
They're going to be there too. They'll be doing non-alcoholic drinks. If you want alcoholic drinks, you can go to Bears and Bees Bar, which I think will be set up in the Colebrookdale Railroad area. I think. I'm not 100% positive about that. And there will be artisans there, local businesses, and Glocker will be there. Glocker Realty will be there. And
nice.
I know I personally will be giving out or doing a giveaway for the State Theater, for passes to the State Theater. And I think that some of the other agents will be doing giveaways as well, but we'll also be giving away just stuff.
Swag.
Which cool stuff though.
Now, is this for coming out of hibernation?
Yeah.
Or what do you? Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I got a bunch of stuff going on.
Yeah. Are you chatting again?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. I know we're giving away.
Trying to improve our analytics.
We're giving away footballs. I know that koozies or whatever you call them. There's other things that we're going to be just giving away to just everybody.
Awesome.
So stop by our tent, and also the historical tent is going to have some cool stuff for sale, and you can donate. Right? Donate. So you can find out all the information on that. If you don't see it on what's going down in Boyertown, you can go directly to buildingabetterboyertown.org for more information on coming out of hibernation. It's 10 to 2 on Saturday. There also the Ridgewood Winery, which we had on our show before. They are having happy hour with Chris Dietz. He's doing live music from 5 to 7. We are working on getting Chris Dietz in here for a show in the near future. He is the owner of CD's Place, or CD's, I think. CD's Place, is it called? Yeah. And he's also a musician.
Okay.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah, I think we have stuff to talk to him about, I think,
Where's CD's Place?
It's the Cup. The Cup down by the Y.
Yeah.
Down by the YMCA.
That catering place, right?
So I think he's only catering.
He used to have a restaurant.
Oh, yeah. The sign out in front of his place says he's too busy to. I mean, if he's that busy, he must be good, right?
No, he's very good. He's very good.
So that's 5 to 7 at Ridgewood Winery. This Saturday also is the 69th Boyertown Citizen of the Year Award Gala.
That's a mouthful.
I have not been nominated, but that's okay. So it's next year, right?
Did you run a campaign?
Do we know?
I did not.
Or were you just hoping? You were just.
I'm just hoping. Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, is it going to be me?
Do you know who?
I have no idea.
No.
No.
I don't even announce it.
I don't know if they announce it there, or I'm assuming they announce it there, right?
I'm surprised a guy like Charles Haydad hasn't won that for like 69 years in a row.
Has he not?
No, he probably has. I'm just saying.
I think he has actually.
Yeah,
he
had to, right?
I think he's won it like
twice.
twice.
I assumed he was Citizen of the Year. I just assume it's that him every year.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
He should be there Saturday, but I don't.
Are you going to be there at the gala?
No, I will not be at the gala.
Okay.
I'll be very
not
it'll
galing.
Be a long day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adrian will not be there. Just for everybody.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. So that's at the Boyertown Museum of Historic Vehicles from 6 to 8 on Saturday. $25 are the tickets in advance, $30 at the door. And you can go to Boyertown, gmail.com.
Tom McHugh is the Boyertown Citizen of the Year.
Oh, it's already been announced.
Oh, it's already been announced. Yeah, and we're getting a joke in from Mr. Hedrick. I'm going to put that up on the screen.
He'll be signing autographs, I assume.
I would imagine, if you wanted his autograph, I'm sure you could get it. And Jeff Hetrick or Jeremy Hetrick is saying bald guys should be nominated no matter what. Jeff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Automatically in the running.
Automatically, yeah. Okay, and here's a benefit that's happening, or a fundraiser that's happening at the Keystone Fire Company. Angels for Alley Beef and Beer fundraiser. That is Saturday night from 6 to 11. It benefits Brianna Spees and family. Brianna was diagnosed with, I'm going to probably mess this up, but neuroblastoma, which is a form of pediatric cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and due to like all the medical needs and everything, there's a lot of out-of-pocket expenses. It's not being all covered by insurance. So that's what this benefits. It's $50 to get in, but it includes dinner, dessert, beer, wine, soda, and entertainment, DJ entertainment. So, you get a whole night of it,
You get a whole night.
And you're really donated to a good thing.
Yeah, as long as you have a designated driver, you could drink half your weight in beer.
Yeah.
And that's easily $50.
That's easily. It's
easily $50.
Yeah, it's like 5 beers.
Listen, I've in this real estate business, you wind up running around a lot, and I don't cook at home as much as I would like to. But when you do go out these days, man, the prices of everything are up. So I think to spend $50 on a night just going out, that's
cheap.
It is cheap, actually.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So the money's going to help somebody local.
Yeah.
Right?
So if you wanted tickets, go to you can contact Jill Koch at jillbk319@gmail.com.
I also put a link to the Keystone Fire Company's Facebook page up on the chat, so you'll be able to find them there. Wait, hold on. Where are they located at? Is that
Walnut Street?
Is it Keystone?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because the one I just found is from Tupahawken, so there must be.
Their Facebook page is Keystone Steam Fire Engine Company #1.
All right, hold on.
Nice and short and easy.
Let me find them.
So while
Matt's working,
while Matt's working on that, and here's another. Here's the last item. Well, that's not the last item. I just lied. Wednesdays, every Wednesday in April, the Boyertown Community Library is doing Story Walk in the park. It's at Boyertown Community Park. It runs from 9 to 6 on Wednesdays as long as the weather's good. And you take your little ones there and you just go walk around the park. You go from place to place there, and it tells a story. There's like a little signs or whatever that tell a full story. And this month is highlighting the story "Goodbye Winter, Hello Spring," which is perfect, right?
Yeah.
By Kennard Pack. That's the author.
Yeah,
so
he's a children's book writer.
Yeah, it's a fun thing to do with the kids for
and that's
sure.
the Boyertown Library?
Boyertown Library does it, but it's at the Boyertown Community Park.
I'm going to put up a link to the Boyertown Library Facebook page so people can go and learn more.
And then when you're done with that, you can throw a couple Frisbee golf things.
Yeah, or just take a walk.
Disc golf.
I'm sorry. The pool will be opening up shortly.
Yeah.
Boyertown Community Pool.
Fun days will be happening soon. There's this town, I'm telling you, it has a lot.
And you know what's neat too? I live in Pottstown. I'm from Pottstown, big Pottstown guy, big Pottstown supporter. But one of the and there's a lot going on in Pottstown too. I know people that literally do not leave Pottstown and keep themselves very well entertained. Mm-hmm. But Boyertown, you can do the same thing. And because of the size of Boyertown, you could walk. If you live in Boyertown or right here in Gilbertsville, you could walk to every single thing.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to go and maybe drink some unlimited drinks at Keystone Fire, or you want to hit the brew pub, or you see
Yeah,
where I'm
can
going with
walk
this.
home.
Listen, there's a lot of great restaurants.
You don't ever have to leave Boyertown, and you can keep yourself well entertained.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yep, Ironstone just had their ribbon cutting
Their
last
ribbon
week.
cutting,
Mhm.
yep. And they keep expanding their menu a little bit.
They have
Here.
Tuesday nights. They have oysters nights.
yeah.
I'm going to take advantage of that very soon on a Tuesday night.
I'm
Which
gonna have to give
actually
them another shot.
traditionally, oysters. I say this in the stroll. Used to be able to get oysters. It was 100 oysters for 60 cents back in 1924.
Yeah, no,
like
they
that.
were super cheap, and
Yeah.
they
So,
would bring them up out
Now
of Philly.
they're $2 an oyster, but
Yeah.
and I'm not an oyster eater, so I can't personally say how they are. But people are really excited about it. So
Yeah.
there's just every night there's something going on.
I stopped in on Tuesday night. Didn't have time to eat oysters, but there was plenty of people there eating oysters. So
Good.
if there's that many people there, and that was
Mhm.
probably only the second or third week they were doing it,
Right.
then I think that they got
Listen, I'm telling
something
you,
good
we
going
stopped there one night. We had all gotten steaks, just the flank steak, like not even like a super huge cut of steak. And my meal was amazing. And my potatoes, I don't know what they put in those potatoes. I don't know if it was like extra butter. I have no idea, but they were absolutely delicious.
That's what I always do to my potatoes.
Well, it's just what came with the dinner, and
Right.
it was fantastic.
Where was that?
So
At
at
Ironstone?
Ironstone, yeah. Mhm. We go to the other farm all the time too. I'm on a diet now, so quinoa is like the quinoa bowls that they have are
Okay, so they got stuff like that.
Oh,
too. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool. All right, to finish things off, always got to finish with the State Theater. Super Mario Brothers,
Yeah.
the movie, is playing all week. So I heard it's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, from adults and kids. They make all the kids'
no.
movies like adult movies
Yeah,
now
that's
too.
fine. What I'm waiting for is the new animated Spider-Man.
Is there a
There's
new one
going to be
coming
a
out?
new animated Spider-Man coming out, and it looks
Like
pretty
similar
dope.
to the other animated stuff, Spider-Man.
No, this one's a little bit different of a twist.
Okay.
The Spider-Man in this one is
It was like Spider the Universe or something.
yeah,
that.
something like that. And I don't just look up the trailer. I'm sure
Okay.
you can find. I saw the trailer for it on YouTube, so just look up new Spider-Man trailer, and if you Google it I'm sure you'll find it. But it looks pretty interesting.
Cool.
I
And
want
I'm
to go check
excited
that
for
out.
I think what's coming up next after the Super Mario Brothers
Mhm.
is the new Guardians of the Galaxy, which I'm
Oh,
excited about.
yeah,
And
that.
I will
yeah.
say the State Theater's got all new seats.
Yeah.
If anybody
Did-
wants
did they
to-
finish it?
I don't know if they're all done, but you could also sponsor a seat at the State Theater for
Yes.
$100. So they need some more donations too.
You know your stuff, Adrian.
Listen, it's a rough life up in my head. I will say.
You are a man about or a woman about town.
She is. She
Listen,
is, for sure.
it's a great town. It is a great town, and I just want the best for
Where did you come from?
Norristown.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I moved
No,
up
I
here
gotta.
about 20 years
It's
ago.
it's impressive because you right off the top of your head, you know this stuff.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's scary because I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning.
yeah.
but-
Because
But she has
all
that
that information is being pushed out of the way.
Probably there's no room left. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, it's a shame. Like because I know.
Have you thought about running for mayor of Boyertown?
No,
Maybe.
Lori does an amazing job.
Okay,
Lori
okay.
does a fantastic job. No, I don't live in the borough, so
Oh, okay.
remember I'm an outsider. They're still not fully keen on the outsiders, so I'm trying to
change that.
I don't
a
know
little
that I
bit.
want to be mayor. I don't like being in the limelight, but I will say like if Pottstown, you and I had talked about this before, and I know a few other people had asked me like, oh, well, will there be an Old Soul Stroll?
Mhm.
Because like right now we're Old Soul Stroll of Boyertown,
Mhm.
but I named it that so it could possibly be of Pottstown or of
Yeah, another place.
Ole and I'm like, I don't know that there's any more registration
Yeah,
up here
right.
for like learning a whole nother town. Like, I don't know if Pottstown, you're a historian of Pottstown. I don't know if there's as much history, if it's,
Oh,
like,
they're about the same age.
And
Right, right.
It's
Well,
tons. There's
and there's
so
a
much
lot that
stuff.
run together between
There
the
is.
Potts and the Rudders and all that.
All that.
But like Boyertown had more tragic history. I mean, all towns had tragic
Yeah,
history.
no,
You know,
I think the Opera House fire is obviously like that was an international tragedy, and it was one
Sure.
of the biggest. You know, it's still recorded as one of the biggest losses of human life
yep.
in a single event in the
Yeah.
United States. So, not that necessarily Pottstown has had that much level of tragedy, but Pottstown has a whole lot of stuff going. I mean, we could fill up show after show after show. But like so, for instance, the steel that made that made the Golden Gate Bridge came from Pottstown.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mrs. Smith's Pies is
Right.
now an international company started in Pottstown.
That was
Right.
the tragedy right there that they closed down.
Yeah, well, you know, things happen, but yeah. So I would say
Industrial and like more industrial.
John Potts, the founder of Pottstown, is literally one of the founding fathers of the American iron and steel industry.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Sure. I mean, I've been this winter. I did more research on the mines and
Yes.
more about the Potts and the Rudder families
Yeah.
and when they came together. I mean, it was like the 1700s. Like we're talking Pilgrim time. Like
Yeah,
there's definitely a lot of rich history. And when we see how, that's what I was saying in the beginning of the show, like when we start seeing how other things in our country were formed, like, and the roots came from this area.
here, right here.
Like I
yeah.
say that all the time in the stroll too. Like all the ore that was pulled out of the ground here was made for cast iron pots and pans that were put throughout the 13 colonies. So
and shipped
when
over
you-
to England
Yep.
and everywhere else.
So
yeah.
it's really neat when you not just hear about Boyertown being on the map, but like even going to the Philadelphia Art Museum and seeing things that were created in Boyertown and Ole and this region alone, because they did like a German descendant. They did like hex signs and everything at the art museum last year. They had like a whole, I mean, the whole floor was like of German ancestry and antiques and things. And so much of it was from this particular region within like 10 miles of here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So I'm like, that's just
it's
freaking
super
amazing.
And one of the things before we wrap up, because now we're just opening up a whole new can of worms. But one of the things that I'm super, super excited for is when you guys decide to start getting into some of the history that there's an old black cemetery up in the hills up by the Boyertown Reservoir.
Somebody had asked me about that.
Yeah.
And sadly, there is no documentation. So unfortunately, when slavery was a thing, people didn't really put value on those lives. And unfortunately, there was not anything really recorded. I do plan, I was waiting for the weather to break because I hate the cold. I'm just going to say it, I'm a chicken. So now the weather broke and we need air conditioning already. So ultimately, I do plan on trekking up through there. Just got myself some new muck boots.
So here's what I'm saying. When you do that, please give me a call. I'm totally interested in helping you try to uncover that history there.
Yeah.
And I have some ideas of where we could possibly go to find some information about it.
And that's the thing is a lot of times with those sensitive types of conversations, there really isn't anything documented.
Right.
So,
I might have some leads for you.
Cool.
But I'm super
that's the thing is I'm not a historian. Remember, I'm a hairstylist.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right.
So like I will be completely like honest. Like I started this because I started like I've become a historian.
Yeah.
And I'm not a tour guide. We're actually taking a field trip. Every year I try to take a field trip for my businesses. We're going up to Gettysburg. I know so much of Gettysburg history. I'm not really there for that. I need to learn to be a better tour guide because I didn't grow up wanting to be a tour guide. This just kind of happened.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, like I don't even know if I'm doing anything right. So I'm actually going and learning.
Well, let's talk after the show because I can turn you on to some people and I can introduce you to some people that can certainly help you with that.
Honestly, this is just other than like extensive research. I have
But you have the passion for it and that's going to carry you a long way. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all about walking through graveyards and all that stuff. So
I'm totally down for that. And I've already made it known that once Boyertown decides that they're going to put some time aside to start digging into that topic, that I'm all the way down for helping you guys.
I shouldn't say the word digging in.
Right.
That's frowned upon.
Exploring.
Yes. There
Yes,
you
much
go.
better.
There you go. All right.
Awesome.
My bad.
All right. So we're going to wrap things up here. Go to jeffknowsboyertown.com. See all the exciting things that are happening in and around Boyertown. And the blog is called What's Going Down in Boyertown. And I'm going to do a YouTube thing here. Hit like and subscribe. No, but if you do subscribe, it makes it a lot easier. Then it goes right to your email each week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't send you any other emails. It just
No, it's
automatically
great.
does it.
Honestly, and it's so nice. Like even during the week when if I had plans and they fell through, I'm like, oh, what's going down? So I just click on it and look, and
Cool.
there's a lot, and there's stuff in Pottstown as well. You always mention about Rivet and the other places,
Pottstown,
like, just like
Limerick,
yeah,
Ole. I
It's
try
great.
to cover the area wherever people from Boyertown would go to, or people from outside will
And
come
listen,
to Boyertown.
I just want to add something.
Sure.
Like real quick. I know we got to go. I always do this to you guys, but
It's
I just,
okay.
it's so much fun.
This is the whole.
So-
this is the whole thing.
I want to say, like, you guys really don't get like paid to do this podcast.
No.
right? And like, you don't get paid.
A little bit of a stipend. A little bit of a
Well, I
stipend.
want in on that. No, I'm just saying, like,
I don't think it's that much of a stipend to share.
It doesn't
Ultimately-
balance out. It doesn't balance out the amount of money that I've spent on equipment. Let's put it that
Ultimately,
way.
the amount of hours I spend researching, and
Yeah.
the amount of time I spend within doing things for the community and visit Boyertown, PA, like, I get no benefit from that. I don't.
I think you're underestimating the benefit that you do get because
Well-
it does get your. It does. People know
But
who you
Yeah,
are.
but like she
they
said,
don't.
she
This is the
keeps
first
on
time
the
I
down low.
announced it. This is like I
Gotcha.
just like went, whoop, like I just did
Yeah,
a Wizard of Oz thing. Like nobody knows that that's me. So
Right.
ultimately, I do it because I genuinely love this little town, and I want just
Mhm.
nothing more than to see it thrive.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that is the goal, right? Like we're all small business owners, or we're all in the same boat, and we all just want people to really appreciate like this town. And so for me, doing all this, I don't get paid.
Yeah.
You know, I half the time I ask people, hey, just share with me what you want me to share, and I'll share it, and they don't. So I like literally stalk their pages when I have nothing else better to do in my life, and I share the information for them. And it's because I know as owners, they're so busy, or managers of the restaurants, that they're so busy just getting that I just want to help them, and I want to see everybody thrive. So,
Which brings us to a good thing. Check out Visit Boyertown, PA on Facebook.
Yep.
And follow them. And then,
because
and
I
then you'll know
literally
what's going
I
on.
try to tie the whole community together, where what doesn't matter who's throwing the event, who's hosting the event, like it's just all about, for families to have something fun to do that's affordable. I mean, Boyertown always does a great job at keeping things affordable.
And I would say this too. I threw up the link to that website into the contact or into the comments earlier. So just after the show's over, just scroll through the comments. You'll see that I put up a whole lot of links, including the link to that.
Actually is busy over there.
I try to do a lot. And I will say this too, is that we started the cast at Glocker in order to highlight local businesses, organizations, and people. And you're the prime example of that. Like we're helping people like you get your message out, because it is important for people to understand what's going on right in their backyard. It builds pride in the community.
Absolutely.
And not for nothing, it helps people find ways to spend their dollars locally.
Yeah,
Every
absolutely.
dollar that you spend, for every dollar that you spend locally, 80 cents of that dollar stays in the community.
Stays in the community.
80% of that money stays in the community when you shop and spend local. So
It's
let's
important.
do it.
I really, I was talking about like the fact that I wish we could get back to like barter and trade, because
yes.
so much of our hard-earned money is going to the wrong places.
It's going to huge
And
corporations that don't give
that
a
don't-
damn
they don't
about
care.
us.
Right. So like for me, I am always willing to barter and trade, because I know other people, maybe it's okay, you don't have the money, but maybe you can offer me, cutting down my tree, or
Yeah,
you know what
some
I mean?
kind of
Something like, not
service.
cutting down trees. It's not
Yep.
equal,
Yeah.
but
That's a lot of
there's-
haircuts.
That's a lot of haircuts. Trust me, I got estimates. But ultimately, it's just the fact that like our country was founded on borrow and trade, and fair trade. And I think that within a community, yeah, you're 100% right. Like spending your money in the community there's no need to really not.
I think that people underestimate what the social safety net was like back in the day. Now, obviously, maybe a lot of it wasn't operated by the government, but I think throughout the course of history, when you look at the way communities and neighborhoods took care of themselves, there was much more of a greater social safety net than there is now. And I agree with you 100%. We have to get back to that idea that it's our responsibility to take care of each other.
So, they started doing the farmers market on Thursday nights. I don't know 100%. I just haven't really looked into that when that starts up again. But like you were saying, like take a plant, leave a plant. Like that's genius.
Yeah, it is genius.
There's so
I love
many
that so
things,
much.
like as far as like now there's all these co-ops and everything coming up. Like start joining local co-ops and really just feeding your neighbors. Like
dig in.
It's the best thing.
Yeah.
Plugs, Matt?
Tomorrow night, 6:00 on Facebook and YouTube. Join us for the cast at Glocker. We're going to be talking to the executive director of the Schuylkill River Greenways Association. We're going to be talking about all the outdoor activities and all the programs that they have coming up
there.
They do a shit ton of stuff. We're going to be talking about the Schuylkill River Trail, the Schuylkill Sojourn, and the outdoor activities and the cultural and the historical resources that they have available to the public.
That should be a great show, Matt.
That's awesome. When is that?
Porchcast Pottstown.
Oh, where's the Pottstown? Okay.
Yeah, Porchcast Pottstown. That's at 6:00. And you can find it on Facebook and YouTube by simply typing in Porchcast Pottstown.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Adrian, plugs?
Boyertown Historical Society. I don't know. What am I? I don't know.
Old Soul Stroll.
Old Soul Stroll. I mean, I
Revamped
have so
hair
much.
salon.
Revamped hair salon.
Revamped hair salon.
Something you make money from.
Yeah, definitely. Sadly, I really don't have like room for I always love new clients, but I really take pride in my loyal clients for years. So I try to make sure I'm not like a new style, like what do they call that? Like a walk-in salon.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm always happy to have referrals. That's what I like.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. My Facebook page, Jeff Frederick. With Glocker Realty. I didn't think. I was hoping you were going to help me out on that. Jeff Frederick with Glocker
that
Realty.
eye connection was strong. It just
because everything is Jeff at Glocker is really the host name.
Yeah.
But my Facebook page, even though if you could type in Jeff at Glocker, and it would go right to my page, but the page itself shows Jeff Frederick.
How many pages do you have now?
I have a bunch.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
Yeah, but they're all Jeff at Glocker. So if you Google Jeff at Glocker, you see all my social
People just
sites.
think your last name is at Glocker.
Jeff at Glocker.
Exactly.
Right. No, Jeff, I would say this, that you are relatively easy to find on the World Wide Web.
I'm getting easier, I think.
Super easier because it's consistency, because you're consistently posting up. If you Google Jeff and Boyertown into Google,
but if you do Jeff at Glocker, every single thing will come up. Yeah,
everything will come up. Yeah.
But so I'm doing weekly. You know this, Adrian, and you might know this, Matt, but I'm doing weekly giveaways. I've been doing it for the last few weeks.
I did notice that a little bit.
And it's going to go on until people stop paying attention or something.
Well, you can always utilize me for one of mine. Maybe we'll do an Old Soul Stroll revamped salon.
We will be talking for show.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exciting.
But this week's giveaway is for Gramia's restaurant, which we had on the show.
Yeah.
She's a local girl, and they have some incredible baked oatmeal, which I've had. Have you had it yet?
Yes, I have. I've tried it.
Amazing.
And so it's a $20 gift card. There's going to be two $20 gift cards, and with them is attached to that is a prize. So go on there. All I have to do is share and like the post, and that will give you automatic entry. But I do it weekly. It's different local businesses each week, and so go there and check that out. And that's all I got. Adrian, thank you so much for being on.
Absolutely. Thank
we
you guys.
appreciate your time, and we can't wait to have you back in the fall.
Awesome.
Because we surely will. Because you got more to talk about.
I got more to talk about. always.
You wish this was a 2-hour show right now.
I can handle it.
I know you
I'm
could.
I'm sitting
totally
down.
could.
I'm
I know
sitting
you
down.
could.
This is a treat.
I'm not bored.
Not
so
at
if
all,
I'm
not
not
at all.
bored,
Listen,
other
we should
people.
do like just a pop-up fun bullshit episode of. Oh, can you say that?
Yeah, yeah.
Sure, you
We'll
can.
have an episode of the three of us. Like we'll just.
Sure.
We'll
Yeah.
just
Sure.
have fun one time.
Sure.
Talk about
Sure.
all new business.
All stuff. All right. Baked oatmeal. Everybody
It
loves
is so good.
Let me give you a recommendation
Yes,
before
sir.
before I go to the outro.
Yes.
Get yourself some baked oatmeal, right? You warm that up a little bit.
Yeah.
Scoop of vanilla ice cream right on top of your
I
baked
think they
oatmeal.
offer that. I knew they offer fruit
Forget
on it,
about
but
it.
when I
The
had it
fruit
for
on
the
it,
first
yep.
time, I said I want to have the OG,
Ah,
and so I just had the plain oatmeal
Yeah.
with the milk in it,
Yeah.
and it was
listen, you
it was
would
just
not
great like
think
that.
that oatmeal would be that good. So I was so excited. Me and Jeremy had gone. We got the baked oatmeal, and I went home and I tried like 5 different ways to make it. Even like Christmas breakfast morning, I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, I'm gonna do a baked oatmeal. No, they have some magical. I even was like, can I have the recipe? Can I? They're like, no. I'm like, can I buy it? They're like, nope. So I will attest that it is absolutely who wants, nobody like really, does anybody really like oatmeal? Like it's not my first choice, right? But the
There's-
baked oatmeal is to die for. They give you a
It is-
cute
yeah,
little creamer cup with milk to add milk to it and the fruit on top. It's
Their
delicious.
baked oatmeal and regular oatmeal does not have
It's
any
not even the
comparison.
same thing.
There's
It's
no
like cake
same
oatmeal or
thing.
oatmeal cake. Like I
Yeah,
don't know what
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
But it's great. It's fantastic.
All right, so that's a good show, I think.
Good time.
That's a
Matt.
great show, and I'm going to go to the outro. I
Let's
have
do the
nothing.
outro.
I have nothing left to say. We've covered.
That's not
we've
true
covered as
either.
much as we can. We co- Don't forget, folks, we really do need you to subscribe on YouTube. Share the show out to your friends and help us spread the word about what's going down in Boyertown. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, we don't want to say any
Thanks
names
for
or anything.
tuning in. No, we